Well, thanks to TikTok and Alicia Amira, the bimbo archetype has now resurfaced in the media once again. We are reanimating the nostalgia of the silicone-breasted, peroxide blonde and her vacant, coal-lined eyes. However, on her second time around, the bimbo is being portrayed in a positive way. Originally derogative, the bimbo was meant to characterize a woman of heightened sexual allure and low intelligence. Now, the bimbo is being reconstituted as a breathless, unburdened goddess, a ruler of society and her own self-assurance. During such a renaissance, I feel the need to provide my perspective on the bimbo and why she deserves her reconciliation as a divine being. As an artist, my subject matter has frequently been the woman of sexual liberation, the fallen woman, the mentally ill woman, the siren, and of course, the bimbo. Through my study of various realities and myths of female archetypes, the bimbo was not immediately respected as something extraordinary, just like it wasn't from the 20s to the early 2000s. But as I matured and my artistic sensibilities sharpened, the bimbo gradually rose to saint-like status in my mind. The bimbo is an indifferent, cheerful spectacle of foolishness with the voluptuous body of a Venus to match. I talk about indifference on this channel a lot and its relation to beauty. Indifference, as I had described it, is more than just not caring what others think of you, but it is a charisma that elevates you above the worries of the average man or woman. Being indifferent means being divine. When you look at religious portraiture, for example, the composure of those portrayed is always placid and separate. They are solipsistic. Their gaze does not stare at you, but beyond you, a look that is almost vacant. The bimbo's empty gaze is not one of confusion or lack of intellect, but an indication of their mastery of society. They are unbothered, unconcerned, and pure. They are free from society's intellectual bondage by virtue of their obliviousness. Untethered, the bimbo does not feel weighted down by cynicism or the barbarity of human interactions. She has no fear, and with a lack of fear comes unrestrained love and selflessness. Now, whether or not you are familiar with the tarot, you've probably seen this card before, as it is part of the major arcana. The bimbo, I would say, bears an eerie familial relation to this specific card. The Fool, according to Penguin's Classics Dictionary of Symbols, is such. This is the most mysterious, enthralling, and hence most disturbing card in the tarot. He is outside the pack, that is, the human city, beyond the walls. The observer concludes that he is a fool. The Hermetic philosopher, however, will mutter that this is a master. He walks unhesitatingly. He goes forward. The fool is not nothingness, but rather emptiness. When no possessions are needed, the individual's consciousness becomes that of the world and of its totality in human and physical terms. He goes forward, conspicuously solar, across the virgin soil of knowledge beyond the city of men. This Hermetic philosopher the scholar speaks of in this definition would say that too much knowledge or worldly dependence begets ignorance and hedonism. In order to reach deification, our attachments to this plane of flesh and suffering and ego must be severed. The moment of transcendence is one of achieved purity and refinement of the mind and body. The bimbo resembles the fool, walking aimlessly onward, outside the citadel of public scrutiny, not because of her choice to do so, but because it is her divine nature. She is the master, the spotless mind. Ignorance is not bliss, but peace. Now, I hope you didn't think I forgot all about that body and hair. Equally the fool, The bimbo is the love goddess. She raises her cosmetic routine to ritualism and wields her body as a fact of her presence on earth. Her voluptuousness does not represent vanity, wealth, or any material status, but her capacity for love and kindness. The Venus of Willendorf, for example, with her bulbous form and discreet face, mirror the bimbo's exuberant and non-dismissible sexuality, as well as her insouciance to the hypnotic effects it has in casual interaction. Discarding the flesh, she operates simultaneously on the heavenly plane and the earthly one. The bimbo is blind, self-contained, and her body is the involuntary physical swell of her sensual abundance. The bimbo is not the cheap, disposable, hard body she was considered to be in the 80s and 90s. She's the representation of God in her physical form, as well as her mental absence. Today, and hopefully more frequently in the future, we start to look at her with reverence.